Order the regular meeting for the Oneonta City School District, June 9th, 2021. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the roll call, please.
Mr. Grau?
Here.
Mr. Reynolds? Mr. Eastford, excuse me.
Here.
Mrs. Kirkowski? Here. Mr. Beckering?
Here.
And excused is Mrs. Burnsworth and Mrs. Cashman.
Thank you. Resolved to accept the agenda as amended.
So, second.
Any discussion?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Resolved to accept the minutes of the May 19th, 2021 regular meeting as presented. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? This brings us to our first opportunity to address the board. And for those of you attending via Zoom, there is a Q&A at the bottom of the Zoom screen that you can click on and put a comment in. And I'm sorry, I did not mention that at the beginning. There is another opportunity later on in the agenda. So if you have a comment, we'd be happy to read it at that appropriate time. Resolved that the reading of the Teaching and Administrative Personnel Memorandum 2021-10 be waived and the addendum be waived, and that the action item dated June 9th, 2021 be approved as recommended by the Superintendent of Schools.
So moved.
Discussion.
Yes, Mr. Grau and members of the board, I would just like to congratulate Mr. Joseph Ballard on his appointment as principal of Greater Plains Elementary School. But beyond that, I would also like to thank Mr. Ballard for his hard work from really the end of December on, as you know, dealing, especially in a year like this, but dealing with all of those issues in the high school, that's a lot for one person. And Mr. Ballard did a wonderful job, and he's going to see us through to graduation, and just want to express my gratitude and congratulate him for all of his hard work and for what he's going to bring to Greater Plains, throughout his career. So, additionally, I would like to welcome Nicole Hecox and Megan Ray to our Yellow Jacket family. They are or will be joining us at the start of next school year. Mrs. Hecox is going to be teaching English in the high school, and that's a familiar name because she is the spouse of AJ, and Miss Ray is going to be a special education teacher in our district, and we have to do something with the vetting process because she is in fact another Red Sox fan. So something that needs to be worked on, but we welcome them to our family.
Colleen, that's your fault, right? Because you're in charge of the hiring
I'm
process.
gonna add that to the list.
Good thing Amy's not here.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. Do you have a capital project update?
Just a very quick one. Had a construction meeting today, working on closing out the electrical and plumbing components of our capital project. Just a few more pieces that we're trying to work toward, just to finish that project and move on. So besides that, not a lot to report on at this moment. But if I could just take advantage of this opportunity to, as this is our last Board of Education meeting for this school year, just to thank our students, our parents and guardians, the wonderful team here at the Oneonta City School District, including you all, for being such wonderful teammates through a very, very difficult year. And I know we're not completely there yet, but we're close. And, this is a very supportive community. And since we had to go through this, of course, in my world, this was the best community to be able to pull together and see us go to the end here. So I just wanted to say that. And I would also just like to recognize Mr. Reynolds, as this is his last board meeting. So as a parent in the community, and of course, someone who's been working in the district for 22 years, Mr. Reynolds, thank you for your leadership, your wisdom, and your guidance. You've certainly been in the district during some additional difficult times. And it's certainly been a pleasure working with you in this capacity and learning from you. So besides that, that's all I have.
Any other discussion on that? Resolved to approve the revised 2021-2022 Oneonta City School District school calendar as presented.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolved that the reading of the financial memorandum 2021-09 be waived and that the action items dated June 9th, 2021 be approved as recommended by the superintendent of schools.
So moved.
Discussion?
Yes, we have a couple of annual contracts. We have the surveillance, and that's our bus camera preventative maintenance contract. There's also a tutorial contract with 4 Winds, and that's for students who are temporarily placed in that hospital to get tutoring. And then the Handle with Care contract is annual training for the appropriate physical handling of students. There's also a generous donation from State Farm for Mrs. Velasco's class to use. And there are a couple lines of budget transfers. One is action, one's informational. The over 10,000 is the action item, and that's primarily tax tertiaries that have settled, retroactive contractual salary increases, tuitions for foster placements, and retirement incentives. And it's a big number, but we have it from different other places in the budget where we didn't spend it. So we're moving those to where we actually need them. And then the smaller transfers are mostly line item transfers within the same department. Things just shift around during the year. And then some surplus security cameras that we upgraded.
I noticed on the bus camera contract, they include stop arm cameras. I know we don't have it. Are we in any discussions about the possibility of those?
We have been talking about that. It's a little more complicated than it might appear on the surface. There's a lot of collaboration between agencies such as law enforcement and the bus company, and the role of the drivers. So those discussions are taking place. We've been meeting more frequently with Durham, and the Durham terminal manager is actually attending the first 10 minutes of our Tuesday administrative council meetings, just so we can bolster that communication. So yes.
Any other questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, brings us to our second opportunity to address the board. And Kathy Lynch put something in there that I'm sure she just put in so I would read it, and that's yay Red Sox fans. She also has a second comment. Thank you to Tom Brinley, Joe Ballard, and Jerry Mackey for all of your work in the interests of students as administrators at OHS this year. We could not have done it without you. Also, thank you, Jamie Reynolds, for your continued service to our district and students as a school board member for so many years, countless hours and meetings over the years. It's all very much appreciated. Thank you, Kathy, for both of those.
Mr. Grau, could I just respond to that very quickly?
Yes.
Because we would be remiss if we didn't thank Kathy for, the wonderful work she does on many fronts, but particularly with the after-prom party, which again was a huge success this year. And of course, when things started to change and we, were able to move in that direction, she didn't have the luxury of time for all of that planning. So she pulled this together very quickly and did a wonderful job, as she usually does. So, as a grateful community member, certainly thank you to Kathy for all she does in that regard.
Thank you. And she again says it's a team effort.
That's Kathy. Yeah, I know.
Thank you. So we'll move to roundtable and start with Sue.
Yeah. So we have our first wellness committee meeting next Tuesday, first time in quite a while. We had our last one right before COVID started, so, and had a lot of plans in place and didn't really get to do much with it. So I met Colleen the other day and we're gonna have a meeting next Tuesday. So it's exciting to see things start happening again. I want to congratulate Joe. I think it's a great opportunity for you to read Greater Plains, and like Tom said, I really appreciate that you stepped up the way that you did during this crazy year and got the high school through it successfully. Welcome to the new hires. As far as prom goes, I was able to go to the park. Darren and I both have seniors, and we were able to go up there for photos. It was awesome. It was a little bit of normalcy. Felt like it had returned. And from everything that I heard, that the prom, the after prom, everything went really well. It was very successful. And obviously, to thank AJ for taking awesome pictures at the park and at the prom. Joe Ballard, Kelly Taverone, Kathy Lynch, of course, and all of the volunteers who stepped up to make sure that everything went off without a hitch. We do have a couple of events coming up for the seniors that are outside the school. So they're being very well taken care of this year as far as making sure that they have a successful transition from high school, I guess you can say, or make sure, it just wasn't a good senior year for them. So there's a parents group that's making sure that they've got some other events coming up. And to Jamie, congratulations on retirement from the board, I guess you could say. But you and I were on the same cycle running every 3 years. And my first time I ran, we had that debate in the science wing, televised. I was so scared. But it's been a pleasure working with you, and I appreciate everything you've done over all the years for the school district. That's all I have.
All right. John?
First, again, I apologize for my phone ringing. Apparently, this app is saying where you put somebody on silence, but they're a priority against you. And again, I apologize for that. Joe, congratulations. I'm just going through my list of people who I want to congratulate for the principal position at Greater Plains. Good job. Again, what Sue said, I think you're going to do a stand-up job down there. And what you did up here goes without saying. You really stepped up to the plate when it really needed it. And obviously, with your boss commends you, we commend you as well. So thank you, Joe. Nicole and Megan, congratulations on your hires. Jamie, I think it goes without saying that I've only been here my 3rd year on the board, but thank you so much. And you've been around a long time, and thank you for taking care of the numbers when they need to be looked at and understanding and kind of make it make sense to us who aren't in the business with dealing with money and finance. So again, thank you, Jamie. The committees wise, Tom and I working on getting back together on our safety committee regarding our two-way communications within the district, and really starting here at the high school and middle school. So we're in the early process of what we looked at last 2 years ago, was it now? 2 years ago, of upgrading the communication system. So that's in the works, and I'm looking forward to sitting down with Tom and see where we can go with that to make things much better and actually much safer for not just the students, but the faculty and staff as well. On a side note, I got a message regarding, and maybe Tom, you all can answer it, and I was wondering if maybe one of the parents would have mentioned it, about the athletic banquet. Is there going to be an athletic banquet this year? If so, in person, or what's our game plan?
The awards, you mean the?
Yes, yeah, I'm sorry.
The varsity awards? Mr. Ballard, are you aware, last I knew that was still a virtual event?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know when it is?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I know this year AJ been working on that, but I don't know the exact date.
Thank you.
Soon, for sure.
Yes, I'm sure, because I mean, right now with, at least the athletes have the opportunity to play a sectional playoffs, which I thought was a great opportunity, considering we couldn't, get into a statewide tournament, but, and I think this is the last week for it, and it's on Saturday, so I'm hoping our OHS team is doing a great job, and all the other schools are out there doing it, so. Other than that, that's all I really have on you.
Well, what they said, basically, I'm just gonna rehash everything they said. Joe, congratulations. Thanks for your years of service up here at the high school and as assistant principal and taking over as interim principal for the last 6 months or so. And congratulations on getting the Great Plains job and good luck. Also, I had written down here thanking Kathy Lynch for her incredible work with the SAD Club and the after prom party. She just does a phenomenal job. My daughter came home with like 20 envelopes of prizes and all kinds of stuff. I mean, over $100, probably $200 worth of stuff. And pretty much every kid pretty much goes home with stuff. So it was a great event. Also, Kelly Tavern and everybody else involved in the prom. I think the prom went off without a hitch. My daughter was there. She said she had a great time, and it seemed like things were starting to get back to a little bit normal, so that was good. AJ in the pictures and meeting in the park beforehand, that was awesome as well, and there was a great turnout. I'd like to thank or welcome the new hires, Nicole and Megan. Welcome to the Jacket family, and again, thank you to Jamie Reynolds for all your years of service on the school board. You were a regular committee member, you were a president for a few years, always on the finance committee. So it was a pleasure working for you, both professionally and personally on the school board for over 10 years. I don't know how many years I've been on board, 11 or so, and you've been on it for more than that. So thanks for all your service and good luck. That's all I have.
All right. Well, I'm gonna break with tradition and give you the last word. So I'll go before you. So we had a equity and inclusion committee meeting last week, I believe. It was a really good meeting. We had planned an hour and we kind of talked through and felt like we were wrapping up. And one person said one thing which sparked an excellent conversation. Our students were really involved and we really had some good conversations. We're meeting again in a couple of weeks, and our next goal is to work on a mission statement, and then from there work on goals for the committee. And we're planning on working through the summer. We're going to, when the comment survey data is available, we're going to review that. We're probably, based on what Tom has told us so far about the response rate, we're probably going to have to conduct that again because it wasn't very good. But you know, we really want to do that and get some data that we can really dig into. But it was a really encouraging meeting, and Tom said there were a couple of students who spoke a lot, who he said don't speak at all in school. So I was really pleased with that. And you know, I think we're off to a great start. I want to congratulate the new hires, Nicole and Megan. Welcome. We're glad to have you. Joe, I want to say congratulations to you, but more importantly, I want to say congratulations to Greater Plains because they're getting an all-star, and we're really happy that you're going to be there. And you know, we're looking for them to move and do even greater things than they've been doing. So congratulations. And Jamie, my friend, it's been a good ride. I really appreciate everything that you have done for me personally as a board member. You know, I was vice president when you were president. I certainly learned a lot about this role and the board in general from you and from your advice and your counsel, and even since you've been president, everything that you have given to us and to me, I really, really appreciate. You know, your knowledge, as Darren said, of finance and being able to look through those things and recognize, you know, things that we need to discuss are really appreciated. We're gonna miss that on the board, and you know, we may have a public position on the finance committee if you. But I really do appreciate everything you've done for me personally and for the board and for the district, so thank you. And I hope that you enjoy your free time.
Right. All righty, well, we did have a finance meeting yesterday afternoon. And, you know, essentially a lot of it was covered, financial report, you know, budget transfers and whatnot. The savings of 400,000+ we currently expect to have in the retiree changes in health insurance. And essentially there could be a few stragglers that wait and see, so it could, you know, be $500,000 pretty easily, I think. So that was a very meaningful project that has come to fruition here. And we talked about the stimulus money basically that we will be getting, and plans on things to spend that. Have some good things that they've been discussing. The plan is expected to be, or is required to be in about a week, I think, right? Next week. Without all the guidance, of course, which wasn't a big surprise. So, which is probably gonna mean fire drill, but I guess we're used to that. So, but you know, it's really a multi-year spend. So it's really going to allow the school district to, you know, look at the things we lost over the last year plus because of COVID and the remote learning and students that probably need some catch-up work, and try to design some things that we can use this money for that truly will help us get back on the footing we were before this thing called COVID happened. So, so that's the good news. The bad news is it's not recurring funds, so it's hard to build things that have a recurring nature to them. So it's really going to take some careful thought, I guess, on how best to spend it and make sure we comply and get reimbursed and all those things. So that was in the Gray Barn. I think Amy said that the wood on that could be of value, and so we're going to check into that and see that maybe we get money for it instead of costing us to tear it down, or you know, the alternative to repair it. So that's still, you know, on the burner there, I guess, on what to do with that. But it does need some work to stabilize it, I guess, for at a minimum, which we have funds in our you know, reserve account, which we established a few years back there. Joe, congratulations. I hate to be the last one to congratulate you, but getting your own building is a great responsibility, and also you know, testimony to you're doing a lot of things right. You know, I can remember when I got my first branch about 30 years ago, and just a different feeling that is, instead of you know, working with someone but having your own place. So I'm sure you're going to do great, and it's our largest elementary school, and a challenge, no doubt, but I'm sure you're going to do great. And appreciate all your work you did here at the high school as well. Kathy, thanks for the sentiments. I appreciate it. As certainly we would have been remiss in not thanking her as we did there, but she's an important cog in our wheel here that makes the school run, and that is very much thanks we give her for that. And I guess thank you to you all. You know, we're all 1/7 of a board that is charged with important stuff. And as we all know, we've gone through some quite a roller coaster here over everyone's term probably, but I know in 08 when I started, the fastest 13 years I think I've ever experienced. But you know, times weren't great at Strong Reference. we've had our ups and downs and, you know, I think we've done a lot over the course of the time I've been on the board. And it was with the help of really everybody, you know, it certainly wasn't me, but I've appreciated the opportunity to serve, I guess, in this capacity and, you know, initially, the finance person was the one that resigned and, that's how I, you know, originally was charged, but, I certainly learned a lot myself about education, about, kids and just the academic arena, you know, I'm not an academic, I'm a banker. So I learned a lot as well. And I trust you all do just fine without me. I don't think I'm gonna be looking for the free time because it's already full, but if I can ever help, let me know, I guess, in any capacity. Elizabeth's going into 8th grade, so I'm gonna be around a while still. And hopefully I won't be called into anybody's principal's office. So anyway, thank you to all, and that's what to all of you as well.
Thank you. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purpose of personnel and special education.
So
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned.